Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Sorry, folks. I got a little technical issue here. I don't know what's going on. That is not the Zoom window. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Welcome back to the program, Chris, live in central Pennsylvania for another in our continuing series of interviews with refugees. And this is a redo, not a redo, but a second time around. Minri Lamprecht, who's up in Wisconsin. Y'all up there in Wisconsin, well, all those Scandinavians are out there eating that strange food up there and drinking that beer. But Minri is back with us again. And before we get started, a lot of folks signed up for membership. This is my handout memberships, but thank you for that. Several of them coming up here. Thank you so much for that. Well, Minri, welcome back to the program. It's a pleasure to have you back. And gosh, I think this one probably is going to be mostly you talking, because apparently you have some really good news, some of your experience in America as a South African having suffered from racial persecution.
Yes, that's correct. So out of Wisconsin, the dairy land, lots of cheese, lots of beer, and oh my goodness, friendly people, so welcoming. And we are so blessed and so happy to be here. I've got very good news for you guys today.
Okay, well, don't keep us in suspense. What's your good news?
Okay, so I have absolutely nothing to complain about. Not a single thing. And I've got a job. We've got a beautiful home. Valentino is happy in school. I obtained a vehicle. I obtained ways to build my credit. And we are now settled, and we are in the midst of our new life. And it's been great.
Sorry, my Zoom disappeared.
That's fine.
There it is. Okay, there we go. It just disappeared on me. Okay, there we go. All right, so okay, but I've got a question for you, Minri, very quickly. That's fantastic news to hear about. I mean, because there's been a lot of people, you know, I don't mean to pick on some refugees. There are legitimate concerns. People have legitimate issues, like in Rochester we've seen, in Maryland we've seen, in other places.
Yes.
But there are also an awful lot of people that seem to be coming at this as if this is just, you know, immigration, and it's not. It's refugee. Now, you've lived in different places around the world. My question to you is, your experience abroad, maybe that helped you adapt better? Do you think that played a role in you doing so well?
I think it did, yes.
Yeah.
I think it definitely helped to adapt better moving to a new country and getting used to different cultures. And however, I think I've had to adapt to more difficult countries and more difficult cultures than this.
Oh yeah, I think that's a fair statement. Yeah, you've been in places where, you know, it's a lot more difficult to adapt than is America. But no, and I think you're addressing. My point was that you're kind of worldly. Okay, you've been around.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just, and I'm not picking on people from the Highveld who live in outside Zeeros on a farm on a place. But I mean, if that's your only world, like for instance, you know, Thea had never been on an escalator when she went to Pretoria to be interviewed. I mean, and a lot of folks that come over, it's their first plane flight. So there's a lot of culture shock for them. I suspect that for you, it was a bit less. There's still challenges and you've overcome them. But
Yeah.
I think that you were maybe better positioned, not because you're privileged or elite or rich or wealthy, but because you're worldly and you've been experienced. Do you think that's a fair statement?
Yeah, it is a fair statement. I do think that we were quite blessed with the caseworkers that we had from World Relief here in Eau Claire. And, you know, things just transpired very smoothly, and we got the help that we needed. I mean, we didn't have, I would say, so much help that it was just, you know, given to us on a silver platter. Don't get me wrong, we still had to think about how am I going to get a job? How are we going to do this? That we had to figure out on our own. So, these resettlement agencies only help you so much, but they are not going to spoon feed you or give you everything on a silver platter. You still have to take responsibility in obtaining a job and, just getting your life together here. It's not going to be easy, and people are not going to give it to you on a silver platter. So please do not expect that. It's not going to happen. It takes hard work, dedication, and just focus from your side as well as a refugee coming here in the first place.
Well, Minri, I have to say that I enjoy this conversation as a follow-up and letting us know where you're at. But, it's been a number, if not most of the interviews that I've done with South Africans who come over who all seem to be, for the most part, go-getters. There are some exceptions, but go-getters. And there have been some people that have had difficult challenges because their case officer has been unresponsive or not helpful. But most of these people that I've interviewed have just gone around that. They're not going to sit there and moan in their pop. They're going to go ahead and make it happen.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that I had to do and just take initiative to get around, where World Relief would maybe offer that a little bit later to help with assistance with whatever you need. But I took initiative and I started Googling these things and making sure that I'm on track with what we need, and with getting our social security numbers and getting to DMV and getting to all the platforms and the organizations that will help you with childcare, etc. Even enrolling Valentino into a school. I did that. I took the initiative to enroll him in school. I did not wait for World Relief to help me and show me this is what you're going to do. I took the initiative and I did that myself. So I think it's important for refugees to do their research in the areas that they are placed in. Just take initiative. And just make these arrangements yourself. Don't wait for another week. Don't wait for 3 more weeks until your caseworker comes around and says, oh, by the way, we still need to do this. Have your little checklist there and just try and get it out of the way on your own. It's the quickest you're going to get through this, and the smoothest way.
Well, Minri, you mentioned a checklist. I mean, I've never really talked to anybody about a checklist. Maybe you had your own. I'm thinking if I'm a refugee, I'm going to be worried about, accommodation or rent or where property we're going to be in, social security numbers, EADs, if we got kids, schools, getting there, a bank account, and then utilities. I would have a checklist of all those things that I need to make happen so that I can be successful. Did you do that for yourself?
Yes, that's exactly what my checklist was. My checklist was just social security, EAD, enrolling Valentino into a school, and making sure where all these places are. I mean, just for instance, DMV. Google it, see where your closest DMV are so that you can actually go and make an appointment to get your learners or to get your drivers done or your state ID. Don't wait for the caseworker to come with his checklist. They might not even have a checklist by the looks of things. Some caseworkers probably rock up with just a form or two to sign and that's it. So I think it's important, there's so many refugee interviews that you've done that people can actually just watch and make your own little checklist. Okay, once I get to the States, this is what I'm going to focus on. This is what I need to get done in week number 1. This is what I need to get done in week number 2. And that way you make sure that you don't miss anything and that you're all set and ready to go.
I think that's fantastic advice, and I think people should listen to it. It's obviously worked for you. Look, I do something very similar. Like I'm planning my trip to Florida right now. I have a spreadsheet, all the contacts of people, their phone numbers, their addresses, where I need to go, which day, which events I have to go to, locations, the rental contract number, the reservation number of hotels, the flight number, all that stuff. And then, of course, not only do I have it on a spreadsheet, but I have it on a thumb drive, and I send it my email account, and I send it myself in Telegram. So, I think that's a very smart idea what you're talking about here. It's it's a very good idea to do that sort of thing. And Lili van der Plas has a phrase that I don't know where she got it from, but people keep attributing to her, so I'll give her credit. Trust the process. But I have a phrase too. Google is your friend, and I think you just echoed that.
There we go.
I've been saying Google is your friend the entire time. Most of the answers that I answer for people aren't hard to find. They either just aren't doing it or don't understand how to do it. So I'm able to help them. But a lot of people could save a lot of stress for themselves. But not everything Google is correct. People need to understand that. You have to be able to understand and analyze what you're coming across here. And you be careful of AI, because AI gets a lot of things wrong. And
absolutely.
So let me ask.
Coming back to coming back to Google. If you do Google something and you're not sure about who to contact, if you get to an organization or a company that you think, okay, maybe this is the way to go, call them and ask them. If they say you've got the wrong place, then okay, that's not the way to go. And most of the times they will direct you to the correct organization to contact, to get your answer and to get the help that you need. So pick up the phone and call. Whilst going through Google, whilst trying to figure this out, it's almost like a little puzzle that you have to solve. And it's not that difficult. It's not.
Well, let's turn our attention to Valentino, who is not available for this interview because you're at work, which we want you to be, so you can pay taxes, take the burden off my back. And Valentino's in school right now. You said he's enjoying it, but I mean, is he thriving? Does he have friends already? What's going on?
He's thriving. He does not want to go home in the afternoon. He's an aftercare as well. Which is great. His school ends at 12:40 or 2:45 in the afternoon, and then he goes to aftercare until around 5:30 when mommy can pick him up. And when I get to aftercare, he is either outside playing if the weather is good. But Wisconsin weather, you think it's spring or you think it's summer, and the next day it's winter again. So he is so happy. He is doing very well at school. He's going to go to grade 2 in September. And I'm very proud of him. All the reports that I get from his teachers. And remember, this is a child with special needs that is in a normal elementary school, thriving.
Well, I mean, I'm going to imagine that's because he's getting the proper education, care, and concern that he deserved in South Africa that wasn't available to him.
Exactly. Yep.
So someone earlier said that you seem a lot happier than the first interview. I thought you were pretty happy in the first interview. My goodness, you look like you have a coat hanger stuck in your mouth. Now you're
I know. I said to you earlier, I've got nothing to complain about. I am the calmest I've been in a long time.
Well, I've got a new theme song for you. All I ever do is win, 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 no matter what. When my hands go up and they stay there, and they stay there. Up, down. Minri's got a theme song. You look like you're doing very happy. I wish and would hope all South Africans are doing as well as you. I know some are struggling. The culture, also case officers, and sometimes locations less than ideal. But you did rock up in a pretty decent place, didn't you?
Yes, we were very blessed. And all the refugees that came to Eau Claire, as far as I can understand, and we are a very close community. We've made good friends with all our South Africans. Everyone is happy. Everyone is looked after. So we've really been blessed with World Relief in Eau Claire specifically. I am in touch with a couple of other refugees in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. And that is a 50-50. So again, it's the same state, but different. Milwaukee is this big city and Eau Claire is a kind of smallish city. And again, it's not even the state that you put in. It's literally just up to the caseworker that you get.
It is, and that's the point I've been trying to make in the agency and the caseworker. I mean, it really comes down to that caseworker and also leadership. The Erie MCRC, the people who have been acting like real turds, have been getting, their director is appointed to the Northwestern Pennsylvania Housing Board because of her excellence. And then she's appointed to some other Pennsylvania housing thing. And then that organization just got an award for the support they do for medical. And I've shown the pictures of where Jared lived. That's safe, sanitary, and affordable? No, it's disgusting, uninhabitable, and unacceptable. But they got an award, and she's on. And then for medical, the one lady, she has to get infusions every 2 weeks. And she'd been here 6 weeks when I saw her in Erie, and she didn't even have medical care yet. They had done nothing for her. That comes down to the case officer. But I would argue also that it comes down to the supervision of the case officers by the local director who aren't doing the job. By comparison, which if you watched, and it sounds like you're still watching a lot of my content, the interview with Milan Debatek, the African Community Center in Las Vegas, that guy's all over it. He's like white on rice. He is such a well-organized activity. He's got a housing director. He's got a jobs director. He's got everything. He's got someone that organizes donations. They have a lending closet with furniture and with clothing and with everything you can imagine. It's just that, and also the guys in Twin Falls, same thing, amazing work. And the guy in Harrisburg, all those are really good agencies at the local level. But some of these people are real turds.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were just blessed to have one of those agencies, and I feel for the other refugees that do not get the support that that we get. I almost want to say that you've been dealt a very bad hand, but it's so unfair. It's it's sad, and it's so unfair that we couldn't have equal support throughout this entire program. But I mean, I try and help where I can, although I'm also still building a brand new life for me and my son. And what you've done is you've gone far and beyond. You've just taken this to another level to help. And I also feel sorry for you in some ways where it's not appreciated, all the work that you do and all the assistance that you try and provide and give. It's
Well, I appreciate
you go
that,
above and beyond, and it's not recognized properly.
Well, I'm not necessarily looking for recognition. I'm grateful for that, but I don't like the defamation of character and the slander, which are criminal acts.
Yeah,
and also people lying about things. So here, I'm going to read something. I'm not going to attribute to anybody. Just get your take on it, okay? And I think I'm going to make a video about the Hadidas if they're in the chat. I'm going to make a video of all the messages they sent me of support because it's just overwhelming. I mean, I'm going to read them. If people get tired of hearing it, they can stop watching the video. But it's just so nice. Anyway, so I'm not going to attribute this to someone, but it says, it saddens me that SAFAs that are in the process and the ones that are here forget why they enrolled in the U.S. Refugee Assistance Program. Even if I only had tickets and no support, I did it for the safety of my family. People are lazy, sir. They just want, but forget what life was like in South Africa. I have refugee fatigue with some refugees. Yes, some did come short due to corrupt refugee agencies, but that aside, some also really pushed forward and bettered their lives without complaining. In my opinion, you did more than anyone can ever ask for. To me, you're a real life hero. He put it in all caps. Or she. I don't know, he or she. I'm not revealing. And I will make sure that the truth about this and your name be written in the history books of the U.S. RAP SA story. The truth will be told. Well, the point there is not hero worship for me. That's what I'm looking for. But the point is that that lady or gentleman said that, it doesn't matter how bad a hand you've been dealt. You came here for a reason. So there was a chat comment at the end of my stream yesterday, which I didn't address, and because I don't want to call anybody's attention to it. But somebody asked a question about their child wants to stay with their sibling who's an adult. The child is like 17, about to turn 18, and what happened? They want to come over, but to me, the way the question was written was more like people destination shopping rather than refugees. They were contemplating letting their minor child stay in South Africa with the sibling who's an adult because the minor child wants to. And I have to say stop. And I'm not picking on the family that published that because it's a real question, but where are you coming from? Are you in need of escape from racial persecution, your life and your career, your ability to survive in jeopardy? Or are you just looking for a better future? Because we got millions of economic immigrants we don't need here, migrants. But if you are truly suffering, I mean, and the reason I say this, Minri, is because if I'm a father and I've got a 15-year-old daughter and she wants to stay with her cousin or grandma in South Africa, no.
There's no way.
if we have to
Sorry,
flee,
the answer is no.
if I have to flee the country because I'm being persecuted, why in the hell would I leave my daughter behind? I mean, does that make sense to you? It doesn't to me.
No, it doesn't make sense at all. The answer would be no.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I mean, I grew up, you went where your parents took you. Who gets a say in this stuff? You know, it's a little confusing for me. Anyway, again, I'm not attacking the family that said that, and I'm not trying to draw attention to them, but my point here is that I think, and that's what goes back to that message I read to you. I think that people somehow lose sight of why they did this.
Yes.
So somebody asked if you're missing Dubai. I don't know if she's missing Dubai. I wouldn't miss Dubai. It's a nice place to visit, but that's enough for me.
I had a conversation with two friends in Dubai the last couple of days, and most people have, or a lot of people have left Dubai because there are obviously things going on there. Schools have closed. Children have to now do online schooling because they should not leave their homes. I do miss Dubai. A part of me does. There's a lot of places and things that I do miss. However, I'm glad I'm not there now.
Well, you are welcome, Miss Dubai, but I've been in the region and I don't miss anything in that part of the world. Of course, you were living in a glitzy 21st century, maybe 23rd century sort of town. I was living in a tent in a hole and, and getting shot at. So, I mean, yeah, maybe I have a skewed view towards the region, but anyway, I'm just saying. Someone's being nosy and wants to know if you're working real estate. You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I mean, if you want to explain what kind of job you're in, but that's your prerogative. I don't want to be intrusive there, but someone did ask the question.
So I can answer that. Yes, I'm in real estate again, and I have been appointed as a community manager. So I am in a senior role in Eau Claire. I manage a community with multifamily units. And it's going to be quite a big development. We've got phase 1 that is completed, 188 units that we are managing. We've got phase 2 coming up, so I'm busy with the launch of that as well. And then we've got 3 more phases after that. So I've got a wonderful team working underneath me, and it came naturally. And I am loving my job. I'm really enjoying it.
It shows. I mean, look, I when you first started saying you're managing a community, I'm like, I hope it's not a senior living community, because that's like managing. No. That's like managing kindergarten. So
yeah.
Bonnie Duplessis gave a 50 Rand super chat, and she said, "You go, Minri." Did a little flex in the muscle there. And and then I can't read it. Andrea gave a 70 Rand super sticker. Thank you for that. Yeah, so it's going very well. By the way, do you mind sharing what kind of car you got? Because I'm going to fall out of my chair if she's got a newer car than me, which she probably has. Go ahead. Do you want to share it?
I got a little SUV.
Okay.
A little Kia Sportage.
Yeah. That is a small SUV, but it's nice. It's nice. Kia makes good cars. That's Korean.
Yes. So that was fine for me. I did go. It took me a day or two, to shop for the right car, because obviously with the snow here in the winter, there's a lot of salt, and so the cars do tend to get a lot of rust at the bottom. And you don't want a rusty car. If you want to resell that car one day, and you don't want, rust is like cancer, so I had to look very closely. The car I got was from an elderly couple. It was their only car. That was a one-car owner. I did my research on Carfax before I bought the vehicle, and I. First, one of the South Africans living here in Eau Claire. So, they said, no, don't expect to go to the car dealerships and to negotiate, because they don't negotiate here in Eau Claire. I thought, okay, let's see about that. So I went in and I negotiated a full $2,500 off my car. And I walked out there. So, it's just also decisions that you have to make, and stay within your budgets, live within your means, shop around. So I was very blessed to be able to do that.
So the way it works is with new cars, you really can't negotiate the price down. But if you're affiliated with some sort of organization, you can get a buying service, and the buying services buy these things in bulk, and that way they get immediate sales and they get the money transferred. So when I bought my Toyota 4Runner in 2004, it was $48,000 fully loaded because it's a limited edition one, so fully loaded. But it doesn't have as many things in it as the Land Cruiser has, even though it's the one step down from it. But still, it was $48,000. But I didn't pay $48,000. I paid $38,000. I got $10,000 off. But I mean, I couldn't have negotiated that in a car lot. The difference with a used car or previously owned automobile is that you can actually negotiate because they've bought that for less than they're selling it for. And it depends how much they want to get rid of it. And it doesn't help you now. It sounds like you got a good deal. But in a lot of states, they have inventory tax. So at the end of the year, if you have so many cars on your lot and the value of them, they get taxed a percentage on that come January 1st. So a lot of car dealerships, especially new car dealerships, will try to push. You'll see a lot of discounts and rebates that take place in November, December with cars. I think it's is it?
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, but I don't know the rule for Wisconsin, but a lot of states do that. But there's always some sort of discount or deal or this, that, and the other. So people just need to watch out for it. But you can negotiate the price of a used car down. And I mean, look, I guess they didn't know who they were dealing with here. They got an estate agent, a real estate agent that knows how to negotiate.
I use a strategy. I don't think anyone's used it before with them, and they were quite taken it back. And you know, after the closing, he said, "How did you learn to do that?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." So what I did is, you know, I was obviously just myself, being friendly and open, and I walked in and I immediately told him, these are the deal breakers. This is what I'm looking for. Non-smoking, that's a deal breaker for me. No rust, if possible. And then obviously the mileage and my budget. And I said, please do not show me anything that is not you know, that doesn't fall into these categories. And I walked into 2 dealerships that took a few chances, and you know, obviously I walked out because they did not listen to what I was asking for. You need to listen to your customers. So I ended up walking out, nothing rude or anything. I just said, thank you so much for your time. This is not going to work for me. And I went on to the next place. And the last place I went to was the Kia dealership. And there was a young gentleman that helped me. And I, you know, I test drove the car, didn't say too much. I know how these things go, you know. The first one to speak loses. And I asked him for a piece of paper. And I said, what is the out the door price for this vehicle? And so he wrote it down, and I took the piece of paper and I said absolutely nothing. And I wrote down my price that I'm happy to pay. And I slid it over, and he said, oh, no, ma'am, we won't be able to do this. I said, just ask. What do we have to lose? And I sent him back to his manager, and he came back with a number, which was obviously higher. And that opened the door to negotiation. So even though they said they're not going to negotiate, they already opened the door. And I wrote my final number on there, and I said to him, this is my full and final number. And he said, oh, this is definitely not going to happen. I said, well, we won't know until you actually ask. And he went over to his manager, and he stayed away for about 15 minutes. And he came back and he said, you have a deal. So, you know, it's just a strategy that one can use. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be cold or anything like that. You can just be yourself. But it's at the end of the day, it's just business. And that's just one of the strategies that you can use to negotiate on a vehicle.
No, absolutely. One thing people have to be very careful, though, of course, when you buy a previously owned vehicle is make sure that you do the Carfax check on to know the provenance of it. One of the things I warn people about is that we have hurricanes in the south, and we have floods like in New Orleans and things like that. And there's nothing illegal about, cleaning up and refitting a car that's gone through a flood, but that's not something you want. That's something that's, and that has to be reported. So in Carfax, that'll be on there. So you want to check for that, just because sometimes, say 10,000 cars are inundated in New Orleans, they clean them up, they clean the engines out, they put them back together, and then they'll ship them all over the country. And, you're in Montana and you get a freaking car from Louisiana that may be a lemon. Some states have what's called the lemon law. So that if you buy it within a certain period of time, 30, 90 days, whatever it is, each state's different if they have it, you can take it back if there's major problems with it and they have to give your money back. So that's something to also know too. Just a little research in the state you're in. But it sounds like you knew what you were doing and it worked out very well. So what about, and not to intrude in your personal finances, but what from a finance standpoint? No trouble setting up a bank account? Have you gotten yourself a credit card here this side already or anything like that?
I did get a credit card, yes.
Okay.
I was very lucky to get a credit card with US Bank. My vehicle finance, I did through a credit union, just because their interest rates are a bit better. But my normal bank account is with US Bank. I got a credit card with them as well. And so now I can build my credit. And with the way things are looking and with the way that I am able to save, and I'm very blessed to be able to do this, is I will probably be able to purchase a home at the end of the year for myself and Valentino.
That would be amazing. Listen, if you want, after we're done, send me a note. I'll send you a little bit of, I won't offer it online, some financial advice if you want it, about setting up, about investing, setting up an Roth IRA and getting yourself a brokerage account and something like that, if that's something you want to do. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Because you're not on the other end of the spectrum here. So you've got plenty of time to build a future and retirement, and build a nest egg. And trust me, the power of compounding, people don't understand that they neglect it. Just if you put $5 away and leave it for 40 years, it's a heck of a lot more than $5. Even in the savings account. So I think people lose sight of that, and the sooner you start, the better you are. All right, well, so nothing to complain about. You've said that World Relief is doing a great job there. One thing I have to complain about, there are other refugees in Eau Claire. I had no idea. Nobody's contacted me for an interview. What the hell is going on there?
So most of them are quite private individuals. They're lovely people, and they all do watch you. Don't make a mistake. They watch you. But they are a little bit more shy and a little bit more reserved. But I will see what I can do. There's a couple, a couple without children, and they're just living their best life and they're loving it. And they are actually the type of people that might talk to you. So I am going to see them this weekend. Let me have a little chat with them and see if they'll open up.
All right, fair enough. Look, I'm a very shy, reserved person. It's difficult for me to come on. Then. Okay. Look, if we go in the Wayback Machine with Sherman, Mr. Peabody, back to the 1970s, that would be a true statement. All the way up until about 1982 when I went to university. I was very shy and reserved. But 1 year at college at the age of 17, and things turned around in quite a hurry. So anyway, I guess the real me came out of hiding. But, with that terrible childhood that I had, I really was kind of reserved and quiet. So I appreciate where we're coming from. No pressure. If they want to come on and talk about it, I'm trying to get as many honest stories, of course, but the more good experiences we have, the people see them, the better off it is for everybody else to hear that. We won't shy away from the bad news, though.
So, if you do want a positive or, just a take on all of this from an American that works with me, she's happy to quickly pop in and just say a word or two, if you don't mind. Right
now? Yeah, get her in here.
Yeah, right now. Let me quickly get her.
All right. Well, look at this, guys. This is unprecedented. We haven't done this before. Wow. Love this interview, Minri. Such a breath of fresh air and positivity, uplifting. Thank Colonel for making us all look forward to a prosperous future. Well, hot cup of tea, hot cup of Joe. Minri is doing very well here. All right, here we go. All right, let's see who we got here. Do you have a chair for her?
Yeah, grab a chair.
Otherwise, you're going to make the poor thing stand.
Here we go. Rewind.
Is she going to come on camera?
She is, indeed.
Hi.
This
Hello.
is Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
How are you?
It's nice to meet you. Great.
Pleasure. Okay, that's definitely not a South African accent.
It's a Midwest accent.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I've got one of those too, but mine doesn't have any Wisconsin twang to it. So, because I. So, Minri, can you just explain again why we're talking to Jennifer, other than the fact she's a nice lady?
So Jennifer is our property manager here, and she's taken me in as her own daughter. Okay, she is everyone's mom here.
Okay.
And I've shared with her a couple of my details that I would obviously not share online. But I've shared with her what's transpired and happened in South Africa, why we are here. And I've also, just informed her about what is happening with, the South Africans and why we are coming over. And, she just mentioned that she didn't know that all of these things are going on.
Oh,
so I don't know if you want to.
No. It's Jennifer. It's much worse than Minri's told you. Unfortunately, I'm in a position where I see firsthand on my trips to South Africa, or people have told me their personal experiences, and they're quite horrific in many cases, and it's definitely a sad situation. It happens. It's really bad. But first, I want to thank you, Jennifer. Minri was such a shy, reserved, shrinking violet. I never thought she could
I can't imagine.
I never thought she could possibly be successful in real estate. But I mean, thank you for taking under your wing.
Yes, look how much she's blossomed just from the 4 weeks that she's been under my tutelage.
Look at that. No, but seriously, no. But thanks. I appreciate it. It's. A lot of Americans don't understand what's going on or why this program is going. All they know is what the media tell them, and the media are dishonest in so many ways. That's why I do my news program, and I do these interviews so that people see what's actually happening for folks coming over. Eau Claire. I've been. It's too many damn people here in Central Pennsylvania. They're moving in left and right. In fact, my road is blocked today because they're building a new apartment complex about a mile from my house, which is about 100 miles too close. So I'm looking at northeastern Tennessee, Wyoming, and should I look at Eau Claire? I mean, you're in real estate. Should I be coming there?
It's been noted as being one of the safest places around, and we have had TV commercials about how we are the safest city that you can live in. So come on over. I
used to teach at Iowa State. And when I was at Iowa State, I had students from Wisconsin. And my students from Wisconsin told me that they asked me if I knew what the name Iowa was. And I said, well, it's a Native American name. I think it's Sioux. And they said, no, that's not true. It's not true. It's an acronym. I said, and then my students from Iowa, it's coming. So my students from Wisconsin said, Iowa stands for Idiots Out Walking Around.
Yep. Really? Yep.
Yes, those naughty Wisconsinites. Naughty.
I would have never said that to you during this conversation, though. I would have been too polite to do that.
Well, I'm not from Iowa, so my feelings aren't hurt. I just taught there.
Perfect.
So Jennifer, look, I mean, she's right there, and we don't want to deal with her performance evaluation, but how's it going so far with Minri? Is it working out?
I love her. I'm constantly telling her how much I appreciate her and how much I love her to pieces. Anna is one of the sweetest, most intelligent, happy people. She has such a positive outlook, and I am so incredibly blessed that she's here. I try telling you that.
I know you do.
But I think that she is such a wonderful addition to this place, and I am so tickled that she's here. And I know that she is crazy in love with her little boy, and she's going to be bringing him in here for me to love on. I can't say enough wonderful things about her. She's a pleasure.
Well, that's awesome to hear. Somebody said Jennifer has an interesting accent. Well, yeah, it's a Wisconsin accent. I mean, if she lived a little further to the west, she'd be talking like this. Yeah, no. So did you sleep with the little fella? Yeah, for sure. I slept with him. We had lutefisk. Then we had sex. It was wonderful. It was fantastic. That's
I'm not down from those Norwegian people.
Yeah, there you go. That's for sure. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah. No,
for sure. Yeah.
It's funny because people don't think that's real until they go to Minnesota. Go to Brainerd. That's how they talk.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. No, but of course that's not a verbatim quote from Fargo, but that's a scene from the movie Fargo. I
Yes.
pulled it out because I knew somebody had said that's not real, that's made up. I said, oh, that's real. Just go to Minnesota. Anyway, of course Fargo's not in Minnesota, but that was the name of the movie anyway. So it's working out very well. That's fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. And gosh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I'm guessing you're learning a bit about South Africa just by osmosis.
It is amazing. Just again, I had never heard of a lot of this stuff. And the more that Anna has shared with me and the more I've become interested in it, and kind of doing my own little research on the country. And I'm shocked and so sad for the people that are over there. And it's just not right. It's not okay. And I just wish that we could get over there and save and rescue everybody.
Well, what's really sad about it too is that most South Africans don't care about the nonsense that's happening there. What I mean is that they're not involved in it. It's the government that perpetuates this bigotry and hatred. And some people in the private sector, but it's not really the average person. Black, white, and brown South Africans for the most part just get along. People just want to raise their families and be left alone, be successful. But it's really sad to see. I've lost a lot of friends in South Africa. I've been covering it since the 1980s. And I've lost a lot recently because of the events happening over there. It's really sad to see. But listen, Wisconsin's not a bad place. I mean, I've spent some time at Fort McCoy. That's not the best place to be, but it's all right.
Fort McCoy is a nice place. We have a lot of, my dad was in the military, so I have a lot of experience down in Fort McCoy.
And if you
It's a cute little place.
If you go north of Green Bay on that long peninsula, there's actually an island off the coast of there that has a bunch of Icelanders. For some reason, Icelanders migrated to Wisconsin about 30 or 40 years ago, a fair number of them. I mean, that's just a little trivia point. I don't know if anybody knows that. Anyway, well, gosh, anything else you want to share with us or any questions you might have before we continue?
I don't think so. Like I said, Anna is amazing, and I want to keep her.
So you'll keep me, don't worry. So they call me Anna because some people it's difficult for them to pronounce Minri. So just for the viewers and the audience.
Yeah, I was just going to say she outed you, but I was going to play it off and say, you notice how she kept calling her Hannah.
No, that's okay. So most people call me Anna or Minri, doesn't matter. So same thing, same person.
Well, one thing I do need to tell you, Jennifer, is if you meet more South Africans, these Afrikaners in particular, and the coloreds, they got some crazy given names. They have this habit of taking their parents' names and mishmashing them together and making a new given name. They're crazy. I mean, you might think some Black Americans come up with crazy names they create for their kids, but no, they got nothing on the South African Afrikaners making up names.
I love it.
Anyway, all right. Well, cool beans. Jennifer, it's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for allowing her to spend time during a workday with us. I really appreciate that because our audience is about half of it in South Africa. There's about 600 people watching right now live from around the world, all over, but about half of them are in South Africa. And if we did this when she gets off work, they'll all be sleeping.
Absolutely. No, take advantage of this and enjoy her time.
All right. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Likewise.
Nice to meet you.
That's a pleasure. Well, that was kind of nice there, Hannah. Thank you for that.
It was.
Hannah Montana. Anyway.
Thanks, Jane.
All right, cool. Yeah, so Jasper Malan says, my name is Jasper Johannes Malan, half French, half Dutch. Okay, but no, I'm talking about given names, the first names. They get kind of crazy. Like Jorethra, where does that come from? That's not like in the Bible or something like that. It looks like somebody took Johann and Retha and put them together. Sorry, Jorethra, I'm not picking on you. Lehane Osthuizen says, you're talking about Levi now. Yeah, no, Levi is also a go-getter. She's the one with Bruce the Service Dog.
Oh, yes. Oh, sweet man, yeah.
All right, so Chazelle Lazar, see, there's another interesting name. Minri, we're so happy for you. See, there you go.
Thank you.
People seem very happy what's going on. I mean, but so you've got, okay, I'll run through the list. I know I got the answers, but you got Social Security card, you got your EAD, you've got a driver's license, or are you still on a permit?
I'm still on a permit.
Okay, all right, but you'll be getting your license so soon enough. But
Yes.
you've gone through the process, unlike the people in
Yes.
Ohio who are getting screwed by the state of Ohio because they changed the law. And then you've got your permanent place you're living in, and you've
Yes.
got a vehicle, and Valentino is in school and he's doing incredibly well, and he doesn't have to go to a special needs school. That's even better. Isn't
No.
that cool?
Yeah. I think the assistant in their class she is trained with special needs children as well. So she is there to assist when it is necessary. So yeah, no, he's sorted. He's sorted. So we settled. We are sorted. We settled, and we're in a good routine, and we are now making plans, to go away for a weekend, or to, I'm already planning his birthday in September, maybe taking him to Orlando. You never know. Let's see.
Well, I mean, from there it's just a short flight, but of course from Eau Claire, now you're going to have to drive to Milwaukee or something like that to get a plane flight.
Yeah, so we'll actually drive to Minneapolis. Minneapolis
okay, it's
is
closer.
just over an
that's,
hour.
That's closer. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's also
So, and
it's a major hub too.
Yes, yeah. So there's a lot of flights from Minneapolis. I was looking at New York as well, because obviously I am usually a traveler, and I'm itching
Yeah, you've got cabin
already.
fever.
I'm itching to travel. So, and because we can obviously only travel in America, I will probably see all the states before the 5 years over,
Wow. Well,
before
listen,
I can really
I
travel.
mean, it's not like we got a shortage of places to see in America.
Exactly. And I've got family in Hawaii. So I would be able to go there sometime as well. I've already told my boss, you will not see me January next year. I will definitely just leave my PTO, my time off for January when it's the coldest here in Wisconsin. I'm gone. Then I'll be taking my time off. So, but a weekend away or a long weekend away is not a bad idea. Just to get rid of that itch to get onto an airplane and travel.
I get the cabin fever. I got it during the COVID scam. I mean, it was too long not to travel. I'd never in my life not traveled somewhere every weekend or a few weekends a month, or had a trip for the military going on. So here's a couple of those names I was talking about. So Deep House says, my son's name is Rudian, a mashup of Gideon and Rudolph. See, there's an example right there. And then Lisette von Logenberg says, my sister is named Karina, supposed to be a combination of Katarina and Karen. Well, there you go. There you go.
Okay.
Someone says, I'm curious, are the schools in the U.S. as chaotic as you would see in movies? No.
As what?
As chaotic as you see on television in the movies? No.
No. It is very well planned.
Well, we had Lehani on the other day on Monday talking about homeschooling and just how advanced it is. I mean, her son Mikael gets a laptop in the mail and books and art supplies and everything free of charge sent to him, and it's just amazing. And she doesn't carry the whole burden for the homeschooling; it's actually done by the cyber school, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, look. So here's a question. Well, that's just probably personal. I don't know if you want to answer this, but did she get financing in the car? No credit record in the States, so genuinely just curious. Well, before you answer that, let me explain that I know South Africans who've taken letter of employment to get a loan, and they go to car dealerships and say, here, like in Idaho, Kara Hotzenberg works for Chobani, the biggest employer in the area. That's the largest yogurt plant in the world. Anybody that worked for Chobani, the dealerships know that job is golden. Unless they're a screw up, they're going to be there. So that was enough. Letter of employment. They gave her a credit. They gave her a loan from a bank. They searched for the bank and got her a loan. So you don't necessarily have to have a credit rating to buy things on credit. I think that's a distinction we need to make right now. You don't necessarily have to have a credit rating to buy things on credit, but oftentimes you have to have a credit rating to get a lease, because they want to know if you're reliable or not. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to answer that question, but I thought I'd at least give some of that background.
I'm not going to give that information today.
That's too personal. But again, so that's an example of something that can be done. So, I mean, a lot of South Africans are here, have cars, and not all of them came with resources. Some don't have much money, so they're finding ways to buy cars. The one disadvantage without a good credit rating is if you get a loan, you're probably going to get a much higher interest rate. So,
yes, that's correct.
But the thing is that you need a car. I mean, this is America. Unless you live in Manhattan, you can't get around without a car. It just doesn't work. So you need a reliable automobile. So you need to focus on getting yourself one. And if it means you got to get a higher interest rate, as long as you can service that loan, go ahead and do it. You can always pay it off quicker.
Absolutely.
Just put more money toward it if you got extra
and just
money.
refinance it later.
Well, I don't know how car refinancing works, but I know how home refinancing works. I never do it, but I know how it works. So so Sarah Muller says, Minri, are you talking about Charles and Chantel? I don't know who that is.
Yes.
Okay.
I am talking about Charles and Chantel.
That must be the people in Eau Claire.
It's Charles' father.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to try and convince them to talk to you.
I think he asked the question before. That's the folks in Eau Claire. Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear they're doing well too. But to your knowledge, I mean, not that you know everything, but are any of the folks in Eau Claire struggling right now?
No, not one.
Cool.
Not one person is struggling. Everyone has a good place to live. All the children that is here is in school. Everyone has food share. Not all of them have jobs yet, but they've also haven't been here for that long. So the people that kind of arrived with me or just after me, they all have jobs. The recent arrivals, they don't have jobs yet, which is completely understandable. It does take some time. So there is no one in Eau Claire struggling. No.
Well, that's amazing to hear. I mean, I can't say the same everywhere. I've got someone reached out from Dallas yesterday because a lot of people keep wanting to go to Texas, and I keep asking why. but a lot of people want to go to Texas. I keep saying why. Somehow, I guess they all watch Dallas when they were kids or something. They think it's J.R. Ewing.
I think they just go back to the movies like Texas, and it's this. The movies painted a picture.
Yeah.
And once you get to Texas, you're like, oh, is this what it is? Okay.
Well, I mean,
we didn't realize that.
It's okay, but it's just like the rest of America. But people seem to have this storied version of what they think Texas is. But I got a message someone yesterday saying a lot of people in Texas are actually struggling right now. I need to investigate that because that's the first I heard about it. So another person asked me, Chris, what about my name, Chesina? Well, because you're Afrikaans, I would say Chesina. But if you weren't Afrikaans, I'd say Gazina, but that's probably not Gazina. It's probably Chesina. So anyway, how's that? Did I do it right? Because people are saying I pronounce her name correctly.
I've never heard that name before.
Neither have I. It's obviously a mishmash of two names going together again. So
yeah, Gert and Sina. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's where it came from. So, but your parents were just mean. That's hard. Sorry. No, thanks for clarifying. I was just curious because you know how the high school drama movies bullies. Well, look, there's bullies all over the world. I mean, kids get bullied in South Africa unbelievably, especially if they're a minority in a school and they're a white kid or a colored kid and a minority in a school. They really get bullied. So I must say Dallas with an Afrikaans accent. You mean Dallas? Dallas. Is that what you want me to say? Dallas?
Yeah, they do say Dallas.
Yes, I know. It's Dallas. It's not Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lizette says she has a cousin with the name of Chesina. That's okay.
Oh, wow.
So it's not as rare as we think, apparently. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool beans. Now everybody's outing themselves with their names. Grok Matrix is Ruben. We'll try to remember that. Anyway. All right. Let me see if there's anything else we need to address here. Oh, Hendo's saying blame Lily for the Texas thing. I'm not going to blame Lily for that. Greg Williams says, congratulations, Minri, to you and everyone that came over. Good to see the glow of happiness in your new life when the Colonel interviews you. Best of luck and God bless. That's very nice.
Thank you.
Excuse me. And Chazelle Zar says, Colonel, your haircut looks good. Well, thank you very much. And you pronounced my name correctly.
Yes, very handsome.
She said, you pronounced my name. Thank you very much. You pronounced my name correctly. What? I said, we're also on our way. And Minri bought a car. That's amazing. Yeah. No, but look, we have a South African that within 4 months of arriving, one of the 59ers bought a house in Iowa where the idiots are out walking around.
It can be done.
Oh, yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, he was able to get it very quickly. So anyway, cool. All right. So your daughter's name is Ansley. That's different. I've never seen Ansley before. Must be a combination of Andre and Leandra or something like that. Ansley.
Yeah.
Just guessing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's most Afrikaners do that. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but each to their own.
Well, I mean, look, you named your kid, I thought you were Italian. Valentino.
Yeah, well, I'm half Italian, half German, so it's Georg Valentino. So
So is that his middle name, Valentino? Then.
yes, yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I didn't know his first.
On my
Okay.
mom's side, it's Italian.
Okay. Wow. Cool. Interesting.
Yep.
All right. So
Yep.
listen, we've got just a couple minutes left because Ronaldo is probably going through DTs, wondering where I'm at because I'm supposed to be on with him.
Yeah,
next.
no, that's fine.
Yeah. So let me give you the floor. I mean, this is your second time through. This isn't updated. We've done updates with Thea von Straden, with Earl Langton, and I think one or two others, but not too many people. So I give people a chance to get settled in. You're settled in, and things are going very well. And I guess we'll find out in January where your vacation is going to be, whether it's going to be Orlando or an Alaskan cruise or Hawaii. But why don't you, anything you want to share with folks about the experience? You shared a lot of it early on about how people should approach this, but the floor is yours for the next couple minutes. Okay, Minri? I mean, Hannah, it's your turn.
Thank you. I think everyone's still in South Africa. It looks like things are going a little bit faster right now than it was months ago. I mean, like the colonel said, I think in a video yesterday or the day before, the numbers are picking up every month, so things are going to start moving faster. And for the people here that is in a difficult position and that is not well looked after, I'm very sorry that you have to go through all of that. And I hope that it gets resolved very quickly. But do take some initiative. And sometimes your only way out of that is to get out of it yourself and to make a plan. 'n boer maak 'n plan. Okay, we don't say that for nothing. So do not rely 100% on organizations here, on caseworkers. Get off your butt and pick up the phone, open Google, and just get things done. Do not wait for someone to do it for you. You're going to wait for weeks and weeks, and this whole experience is just going to become a negative one for you. The people that arrive at places where it is inhabitable, that is not ready, basically for occupation, that you cannot live in, I would say you have to draw the line somewhere. And you have to be very straightforward and strict with those case workers and just say, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not acceptable. I would rather stay in the hotel or wherever else you can place me until you've got this figured out. Do not accept keys. Do not sign leases. Even if they say, well, you're going to sit on the street, then you immediately say, I need your supervisor on the phone right now, or they need to come here. I know it's easier said than done, but just stand up for yourself and kind of don't feel bad. Oh, I'm going to offend him if I don't take the keys. I'm going to offend him if I look like a spoiled brat, or if I'm going to say I cannot sleep here or live here, and it's completely unacceptable to move into a place where it's dirty or there's no warm water or things like that. You need to draw a line, and you need to then say, hang on, I'm sorry, I cannot live here. And they have to make it. They have to listen to you, and they have to make a plan. They cannot leave you on the street. I don't know if I'm wrong there, Colonel, but I think we need to, you need to speak up, and you need to take initiative, and you need to make a plan. You need to kind of drive this by yourself as well.
Well, that's really good advice, Minri. Yeah, the thing is that if a bunch of South Africans suddenly start getting turned out in the street because they're homeless, that is not going to look very good for these agencies. So I can't imagine any agency is going to be stupid enough to let South Africans be kicked out on the street.
Exactly. They won't.
So I mean, I'm hearing from people in Texas claiming that they're about to be thrown out, but if it happens, it'll be big news, and it's not going to reflect well on the agency because they've not helped these people.
Yeah.
So it's self-defeating. All right. Well, thanks a lot for that. I appreciate it. Good to have you back on. We had a super chat just came up from Sammy saying, "Hi, Colonel Minri. So good to see you again." I think people are happy to see you back here again. I mean, I'm not in the estate agent business, real estate business, but if we do a real estate segment, I'll have to call you up.
Absolutely, no problem. You're more than welcome to. I've studied the Fair Housing Act, and I'm pretty much clued up now. I won't say I know everything, but I am able to assist with some pointers and advice if one ever needs it as a tenant.
All right, cool beans. Minri, thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye, donkey. Best of luck to you and Valentino, and thanks. Stay in touch and send me a note about that. And when I get a chance, remember, I'm traveling this weekend to Florida, but when I get a chance, I'll send you some links and you can take a look into things, okay?
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
All right, I'll let you drop off. Folks,
Thanks, Colonel.
You're very welcome. Folks, that was Minri up there in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, her second time around. Thank you for being a guest. I'll be on Ronaldo for Wednesdays with the Colonel in just a moment. You're going to be redirected there, so it'll take you right there if you want to listen to Ronaldo and me chat. But someone said things are moving faster, but not for South Africans. Well, of course they're moving faster for South Africans. No one else is coming over right now, and medicals are expiring. That's normal. I don't know where people get the idea that medicals expiring is an odd occurrence. It's normal. A lot of people's medicals have expired. It's just part of the process. They take a risk when they do your medicals early on a presumption that your investigation won't take long. But if your investigation takes a long time, then they expire and you take them again. It's very inconvenient for people who have to travel from Port Elizabeth to Joburg or Cape Town, but it's just the way the system is. If you were living in a camp in Kenya, then it wouldn't be very inconvenient. You just walk a kilometer to where the medical exams are and do it again. But it is normal, not unusual. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Be sure to hit the like button, and we'll catch you later on. Thanks to Minri, my guest. It was great to have her back on. And we'll see you on Ronaldo Wednesdays with the Colonel in just a moment. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here.